Firstly, we have a bite-sized session, which is looking at a fantastic project that's been igniting the potential for great skincare out in the social sector. And I'd like to welcome Heidi Sandoz, who is leading on this skincare champions project, and Heidi is joined by carers Leesha and Abigail. Over to you, Heidi.
Thanks, Fran, and thank you for the TVS for inviting me to speak about this project. Unfortunately, Abigail wasn't able to join us today, but I have got Leesha here, which also gives me great pleasure. It's great that I've got one of the champions with us. So hopefully you can all see my screen. I'm just sharing that now. And really just want to talk through about this project. I'll introduce myself. Some people might not know who I am. So I am the Tissue Viability Services lead for Hertfordshire Community NHS Trust and decided to take my pension and semi-retirement in December. So that's freed me up to do some other things. And I was successful at being appointed as the Tissue Viability Society Skincare Champion Educator. And I started that role back in May. Just a little reminder about the mission of the Tissue Viability Society, which really is focusing on improving information, education, awareness of all things skincare, wound care and tissue viability, really. So with that in mind, the trustees really felt that they wanted to see if they could tap into the world of social care and the carers that are working in social care, be that home care or care homes or other settings. So they put a proposal to develop a group of skincare champions, and they wanted to be able to support that group and provide them with some knowledge and skills to improve their care around skincare for the people that they care for, with the hope of that creating a network. So my presentation seems to have an automatic timer on it. So with that in mind, we set about to walk to the middle of Mars. Luckily, we had a lockdown going on and people were walking all over the country and the planet. So that worked quite well for us all. And we managed to raise a substantial amount of money doing that. That money is what's funded this project. The first phase of this project is the pilot phase. So how are we going about it? Well, we've set up a few things to support the carers. And I spoke yesterday on the 3M symposium about some of the challenges of educating social care sector staff. So if you want to see more about that, then I'd urge you to go back and look at that presentation from yesterday evening. Don't have time to touch on that today. So we do have some monthly virtual meetings, both with the champions and their managers at separate times. So the manager meetings are quarterly. We've got a closed Facebook group and we've got a closed page on the Tissue Viability Society's webpage. Note to self, need to crack on and do the quarterly newsletters. Haven't started those yet. So just to give you an idea of what the closed page on the website for the Tissue Viability website looks like, and that's where I've set up this program in modules. And in each of those modules, I can source and find resources that our champions can use. I do send them a weekly email with what this week's topic is about, and we're doing a module a month. So we split each module over the weeks of the month, and then we upload those resources onto the webpage. So those that can't make the meetings have a video recording of the meeting, and they can access the resources as well if they can't find their email. And then we've got the Facebook page where we've got members joining the Facebook page, one for the champions, one for the managers, and we can get discussions going on there. They can contact me on Messenger if they want to ask me a question, but equally they can contact me through email. Some of the challenges around this, though, are we started with 12 pilot sites and we've had a dropout rate of 25% already. And that might be because the organisation hasn't been able to commit to it largely earlier on in the year because of the pandemic. It might be because a carer, a particular champion, has left the organisation, which seems to be one of the commonest reasons we've experienced. Only half of the champions and managers have joined the Facebook group, so that is something that they're partially engaging in, and there hasn't been much content coming from them within the groups really. And then with the meetings that we have, we get about a third of the champions attending those. We have had 2 champions who've been able to attend them all, and a further 2 who've attended 2/3. So this supports what I was talking about yesterday in the symposium about the challenges of reaching out to the social care sector to engage in education. Just to give you an idea of for each module, how we're setting about looking at what we want the learning outcomes to be. And also we're trying to think about how we can measure those outcomes. I'm just trying to keep an eye on time because we haven't got long. So for every module, they know clearly what they're hoping to learn about in that module. And then we're thinking about how we can measure their learning as well as their experience with the programme. Just a couple of examples of resources that I've been able to source. So we've got some accredited modules that Smith and Nephew, for instance, do. And if I find other resources online that are generic, not product focused, then I might point them to that. I've used Micro World here, which is a really interesting example of learning about the physiology of wound healing, for instance, quite a dry, dull topic to learn about, and Micro World have done their best to make that a little bit more interesting. So just a couple of examples, but there's lots of different resources, particularly online YouTube videos that I've been able to source for them. Just to show you what our knowledge and skills and confidence audit looks like. So we do one of these that we ask them to complete before we start a module. And then we repeat that after the module to see if there's any gain in their knowledge, skills and confidence about the particular topic that we've done. We've also asked them midway, because we're 3 months into the programme now, to evaluate the programme itself. So, you know, the things that I'm using to help them learn, and is it working for them? And also to try and understand some of the difficulties they have in accessing some of that. We can see some data through our Facebook, through the Tissue Viability Society webpage as to how frequently they're accessing the resources on there. And also, finally, one of the things we really would like to try and do is to see if we're making an impact on the people that this is about, the actual service users, the residents themselves. So we've designed an audit tool based on a sort of competent tool that's already been out there and used before, and we'll be supporting the carers to the champions to utilise that tool in their own area, just to get an idea of what are the skin challenges in their service user population. We're wanting the carers and the champions to undertake a quality improvement project. So 4, and possibly a 5th one at the moment, toying with an idea, have come up with things that they want to do. And these are just 4 of the quality improvement projects that have been started. And we can provide them with quality improvement tools and resources. And I try and introduce a quality improvement methodology into the monthly meetings that we have as well to support that work. Phase 2, we do want to roll this out to a wider audience. So we'd like to have way more participants in the Champions programme than 12. And obviously a lot of my time initially has been sourcing all these resources for them. But once that work's done, then that frees up my time to do some other things that might be found to be valuable based on evidence that's out there. So we'll be looking into that as well. So we were very fortunate to get Ergo Foundation Award funding to support the bigger rollout of this project and take this project out to a wider audience. So a big thank you to Ergo for being able to see this as a project that is worthy of their financial support. So I think I'm sort of up to my 10 minutes, near enough now. And so hopefully, I know Leesha's there, I could see her. So I'm going to hand over to Leesha. I think she's on her phone, so she might not be visible to us. But Leesha just wanted to spend the next couple of minutes telling you about her. Oh, you are there, Leesha. Lovely, we can see you. Telling you about her experience as she's also a manager and champion with Avery Healthcare. So I'm going to hand over to you, Leesha. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you, Heidi. So Skin Champions programme has been a great forum for me to refresh and upskill your knowledge and to be able to filter this down to others in the team and also educate those in your care where possible. It's allowed me to look at fresh ideas and discuss challenges with others nationally to get a different perspective and thoughts of how we're facing challenges. It's made me look at the skin in a different way and how to get this knowledge out to everyone in care as it affects everyone, supporting the individual and also what their preferences are to their care. I've been able to look at the skill level within my team and look at the areas that are weaker than others and work with those focused without the focused training session. I've aimed a session at skincare and not about the routine courses such as pressure ulcer prevention. Though pressure ulcer prevention is of a top importance in skincare, I think with the underlying knowledge of the skin, the blood flow, and such things of what cream to apply and how, we can prevent breakdown of the skin and also cut costs. Thank you.
Thank you, Leesha. So we have got 5 minutes, I think, until the next chat. I think Elaine Bethel is speaking after us.
Elaine's on high. So yeah, we have got a couple of minutes if anybody's got any questions.
Yeah, we didn't know if anybody would have any questions.
There's nothing on the chat at the moment.
No. So Leesha, probably put you on the spot then now. I can put you on the spot.
Okay.
Just something, so thanks for what you've shared with us all there, but has it been a valuable experience, do you think, for you and your staff?
Yeah, definitely. It's naturally, for me, we've been able to really break down the skin and look at areas that, like I said, that we need to upskill on and take those different bite-sized bits, focus on those. And now we're seeing a big improvement in our whole practice of skincare regime, I feel, within the home.
So somebody's asked a question here asking, what feedback have you received from your staff following the sessions that you've done with them?
They're really enthusiastic about it. They're really keen to learn. So being able to go back to them and say, oh yeah, I've looked at this today, and sort of broke it down for them. They've really come back to it, and you can hear them talking about it in the staff room, which always is a bonus as well for sharing knowledge.
Oh, it's always good to get skin talked about in the staff room, isn't it? Fabulous. Yeah. Fabulous.
Also, Jay Murray is asking as well, Tina, will this project be rolled out nationally?
So yes, we will be starting to do a promotional programme to see if we can capture up to another, well, I think we want 50 champion organisations as in phase 2 of the rollout. So yes, we'll be looking to see if we can get more people on board. Yeah. And Tina's asking, Leesha, would you recommend it to other care homes?
Absolutely, 110%.
Oh, that's great.
So we're two minutes left. If there's any more chat you want to oh, here we go. Have you thought about this for disabled people who manage their own care?
So that's a really interesting question, because I think there's something like 135,000 personal assistants who are employed by people directly for their own care from data that I've got from Skills for Care. So it's really interesting to think about how we reach those people, because they could be a variety of people, and a fair few of them have probably had no training at all around the skin or much, to be honest. So I think that's something that with the trustees following this second rollout, we'll probably look to see if there is a way of reaching those people. Yeah.
Tina's put it's a good point.
Yeah, it is.
That is a really good point.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think if all's done, that's 44 minutes. 1 minute left, but yeah, I think that's fantastic. Thank you very much. That's been really informative.